One of the first steps in any room design is to select your color palette. But once you have your colors selected, you might be wondering, how much of each color should you be using and where should you use it? While there are never any definite right or wrong answers when it comes to interior design, there are some key rules and guidelines you should follow. And one of them is the 60-30-10 color rule. The 60-30-10 rule is a timeless decorating rule that can help you pull a room together with color. It's used to balance out the colors used in your space in a pleasing way by assigning percentage amounts to the colors that you use. When you choose a color scheme for your room, you'll typically have about 3 to 5 colors. For simplicity, for this video, let's assume you have 3 colors and we'll apply the 60-30-10 rule. So here it is. 60% of the color used in your room should be the main color. 30% should be a secondary color, and 10% should be your accent color. When you distribute your colors according to these percentages, the result is some pretty fabulous looking design. So, how do we use the percentages? The 60% main color of the room includes things like your walls, your sofa, could be some of the main colors that you see in your area rug, or if we're talking about kitchens and bathrooms, it could even be your cabinets or your tile. If you go into your room and you squint your eyes when you walk in, this will be the predominant color that you would see. The 30% secondary color includes things like accent chairs. It could be your bedding or the drapery that you have on your windows. It could be an accent wall that you've painted or even furniture that you may have painted. The main purpose of the secondary color is to provide contrast with the main color. And this color will show up about half as much as the main color in your space. The 10% accent color then is all the fun stuff. It's your decorative accessories, your pillows, could be some artwork, could be a great pop of color you get from florals. This is that pop of color that you want people to see in your room. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a bright color. It could even be something like a metallic finish, like a gold or brass, for example. Now, you don't need to go measuring and using exact percentages to make this rule work for you. Just think of it as using one dominant color throughout most of the room, a second color approximately half of the time in the room, and then a third accent color for those fun little pops of color around your space. Now, there's nothing really like seeing a rule in action to really understand it. So let's walk through some examples of rooms that are using the 60-30-10 color rule, and then you can get a better idea of how it works. Now, in this bedroom, the main color that we see is this beautiful blue-gray. And we see it in a few different shades, from light that we see on the walls to a darker color that we see on the bedding. Now, with this color on all 4 walls and being used in the bedding and the rug, it's definitely representing about 60% of the color in the room. Now, the secondary color is the wood tones that we're seeing in the flooring and in the furniture. And if you can imagine seeing the entire room, you would see much more of that wood flooring and furniture, and that color would probably account for about 30% of the room. Finally, we have the accent color in it, which in this case is white. And you can see white with the sheets on the bed, the fur throw over the chair, the lamp on the left side of the picture, and even some of the decorative accessories on the nightstand on the right-hand side. And this is our 10% accent color. In this next example, you can see that the dominant color of the room is a crisp, clean white. The walls, the doors, the floor, and much of the bedding are all white. And so white clearly occupies at least 60% of this room. The next most prevalent color is gray, which is our secondary color. We see this in the rug, the headboard, the pillows, the black and white shades of gray that are in the artwork, the comforter is gray, and all of this together represents about 30% of the color in this room. And then finally, our 10% accent color is pink. The pink is kind of complemented by the gold frames and wood furniture, which have tones that are within that same color family. Now, even though these colors are not used very much in the space overall, they do a great job of providing interest and kind of helping our eyes move around the room. In this living room example, the walls are a deep, moody blue-gray, and that same color is used in the rug, although in small quantities, and also you can see a little bit in the artwork on the left-hand side of the picture. Because it's on all of the walls, it will be the dominant color that we see when we squint our eyes and walk into this room, and it is our main 60% color. The secondary color is the rich caramel color of the sofa and wood flooring, and you can also see it in the basket that's on the fireplace. Remember how I said the secondary color is often used to create a contrast with the main color? Well, that is certainly the case here because these two colors are opposites on the color wheel. Now, the accent color in this room is white, which we see in the rug, the fuzzy accent chairs, the lampshade on the far right side, and even some of the accessories that are on the coffee table. Let's take a look at this cute bunk room. In this example, we see white as the predominant 60% color in the room. It's used on the walls, you see it in the bedding, and even the light fixture up on the ceiling. The secondary color is a charcoal gray or even the black color, which does a great job of providing a strong contrast with the white walls. This color is taking up at least 30% of the room as part of the furniture, window treatments, the clock on the far right side, and even the bedding. Finally, those pops of Kelly green look fantastic as a 10% accent color. Now, hopefully after seeing these examples, you have a better idea of the different ways the 60-30-10 rule can be used to distribute colors throughout a space, and how those percentages can help create a very balanced and polished looking room. While the 60-30-10 color rule is a fantastic rule for home decorating, I do have a few tips to share for how to use it in a little more sophisticated or advanced way. Number one, you don't have to use the same shade of each color, as we saw in several of the examples. You can use a combination of light blue and navy blue, for example, if one of the colors you've chosen in your palette is blue. And you can even use colors that are very close to each other on the color wheel, like a teal and a navy blue. Number two, it's okay to use patterns that include additional colors outside of your 3-color palette. For example, if your color palette was white and gray and navy, you can still use a pillow that has navy with other colors in it. So take a look at the pillow here on the right-hand side of the screen. See how it has some red, some teal, and even some chartreuse in it? However, when you squint your eyes, the dominant color you see out of this pillow is navy. Therefore, it's going to work great in your color palette. Number three, your 10% accent color can be 2 different colors. Just think about using each of them in about 5% quantities. So there you have it. The 60-30-10 color rule is very easy to follow and can give you great results. So be sure to keep this rule in mind when decorating your home. Before you go, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or comments about the 60-30-10 rule, feel free to leave me a comment below.